Welcome to the first video in a series on how to play micro stakes no limit hold'em, specifically in PokerStars at the 5-10 cent stakes. Here's my name, One Devious Bastard. I know, it's very bad. And so far over the last 9 days, I'm up $113. So I've been playing pretty consistently. Over the last 8 days, usually averaging out about three and a bit hours a day. So it's okay. It's okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to fire up 4 tables straight away. Now a lot of people like to just jump into the game. I do like to have a look at the average pot size, and have a look at the players who are in the table. We're going to go this one. So here's our first table. Chose it because there's a few people who haven't bought in for the max, and the average pot size is quite high. Oh god. And this one the same kind of thing. You got a lot of people buying in for small amounts of money. So I can assume a lot of the time that they're playing scared money, and it's going to give us an advantage if we ever decide to play them. If that made any sense. Ah, the seat was taken. No one likes to see that. Sorry, I've just got the tournament lobby open up on the other monitor, trying to find a decent table to play in first before I start commentating. Can't seem to find any good ones at the moment. Here's the problem. I'm playing at 11:30 UK time, and the majority of players on PokerStars are probably gonna be from America and other countries, so the time zones are all a bit off. And we're gonna be playing people in different time zones, and it's not the best time now. On peak time, I think there's about 300,000 players on PokerStars at the moment, whereas now we've only got 96,000. So you're not going to get as much fish as you usually would. Still looking for a 4th table to play. I can't seem to find a decent one. Just bear with me. Okay, here we go. Oh crap. Excuse the language. Okay, here we go. Alright, so I'm going to be playing 4 tables at a time. To start off, I usually increase it to 6 after about an hour when I've gotten into the game and I'm relatively comfortable. I do wait for the big blind whenever I play. Just kind of like, because I don't want to rush into the game. You don't really get any advantage by sitting out and watching play, because you're only ever going to see like 3-4 hands. I mean, you can pick up some information, but you're rarely going to pick up any decent information that you can use to trap opponents and stuff like that. So micro stakes no limit hold'em is not a place where you're going to find a lot of people grinding out for money. You're going to usually find players grinding to build a bankroll and then to move up through stakes. You might get the occasional guy who plays consistently at these levels just outside of work to make a bit of money, but usually kind of like 85% of players or more are going to be relatively inexperienced players, and we're going to be able to exploit them. Now here we pick up ace-5 in the big blind. We've been raised. We're just going to fold. I don't get too involved early on until my stats here come up on the players, and I can get just a little bit of a rough idea of how they play. If you've ever used Poker Tracker before, you'll understand the stats I'm about to say, and if you haven't, you can probably just research it. But the VP is voluntarily putting money in the pot as a percentage, proof upload as a percentage, the aggression factor, it's NA at the moment because we haven't got enough hands on them yet. I'll re-raise him here. And then we've got this value here, which will eventually come up, is the amount that they continuation bet on the flop and the amount they fold to a continuation bet. And you see there, I didn't play coy with the ace king. I just raised it in the big blind in position against this one guy who raised in the small blind, and we took down the pot. We're going to fold the 8 deuce. Like I said, I don't want to get involved too early in mediocre hands until I kind of get a rough idea of what I'm playing, who I'm playing even. But here, you know, I'm going to play the jack 9 suited because it always hits. Well, didn't hit great that time, but what are you going to do? So he bets 33 cents, and we're just going to go ahead and we're going to fold it. No need to get involved in that pot. 5-4 suited. Like I said, after about, well, he raised there, but after about half an hour of play, I would usually raise it, but there I was just going to limp in if it ever came to it. One of the major differences between micro stakes, even, you know, between 5-10 cent and something like 10-25 or 25-50, is you can limp a lot more and get away from hands on the flop if you're good enough, which I find you can't really do because people are able to exploit that in the higher stakes. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to bet 75% of the pot here. We're pretty sure we have the best hand. He calls, and now I'm a bit hesitant. And he bets $1, so I'm going to assume I'm beat here. Now we hit trips, and I'm either going to bet and he's going to fold, or I'm going to bet and he's going to call. There's hardly anything he can have on that flop, and yeah, he folds. Didn't really expect to get a lot of action there. I mean, I could check to value bet the river, but this early on in the game, I don't want people to get information on my hands. Not a lot of people are going to be paying attention to, you know, how I played trips, but you know, we don't want people to know that I'm capable of checking trips there, or how I play my trips, because it will give people information in the future. So we pick up ace king here in the small blind, and a 4-6, which I'm going to raise. Now he raised again. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to raise him again, because I'm out of position. I want to see if I can get him out the pot, and the flop comes pretty perfect for me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to check it, because the only card I can be scared of on the turn is a king, and he bets 135. And I'm pretty confident that I've got the best hand here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to check raise him a small amount and hopefully finish the pot here. And he calls, and then of course the one card that I'm scared of comes off on the turn, because it's possible that he's sitting there with king queen. So it's not the greatest turn in the world, and we're going to go ahead and check now, because I did put him on king queen when he called me on my raise there. And there you can see he's now gone all in for 627. And this is going to be a very difficult hand to call. The fact that he called the raise on the flop lets me know that he so easily could be sitting here with ace king. I mean, I could have outflopped him on the flop. If we see if we can find this player, we can see he's playing multiple tables here. And because he's playing multiple tables, I can assume that he's a relatively competent player. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually fold this on the turn, unfortunately. You know, that's poker. The worst possible card in the deck came up, the only one that could scare me. And so I decided to just give it up. You know, lose $4 there. Not the greatest way to start, but you know, you can't win all of them. So here I bet 50% of the pot with my open-ended, and I'm going to check the turn now. And I'm going to have to probably check fold here. Now I pick up the open-ended out of position, so I'm just going to check it. Hopefully we'll see a free turn card. And I'm going to increase my maximum in that table. I wonder if he had king queen. I could just imagine him having king queen there. But to be fair, I guess I got very lucky if he was sitting there pocket aces or pocket kings and he was trapping me. So here you can see the kind of play that we get. We see this 9 going all in on that flop, which is a terrible, terrible play. So I pick up pocket 9s in the small blind, pretty automatic call there. I can raise it, but like I said, I don't want to get too involved in hands, mediocre hands, and starting to play them tricky this early on in the game. And the flop is 3 overcards, so we're just gonna fold it. No problem folding there. Five seven suited. Give me a raise, boy. A strategy that I really like to employ at these low stakes is making myself seem extremely aggressive by calling a lot of raises pre-flop and raising a lot pre-flop, but then getting away from the hands on the flop where it's cheap. I tend to find that this strategy works very well because players tend to notice who's been raising in the table consistently, and that way when they pick up any kind of decent hand, say hitting top pair top kicker on the flop, say with ace jack, they're willing to commit all their chips on it purely because they have this idea of you, of where you're a very aggressive player when we're just making it look like that. And he bets 54 into the pot, and we're just going to get rid of it here. Hopefully I'll be able to show you some good examples in today's session on playing, doing this whole calling lots and lots of raises and everything pre-flop and then getting away from the hands on the flop. Okay, well this is the end of the introduction of the part 1 of the session. It's a bit slow, unfortunately, but you know, part 2 should be better.